This is round 2 of the best rivalry game in the PNW, the Hood Classic. Beach went home victorious in round 1, and since then, they've remained undefeated in the Metro League. Garfield, hungry for revenge, looked to defend their home court, but it would be no easy feat. With Jamal Crawford now coaching alongside Mike Bethia on the Rainier Beach bench, Coach Brandon Roy and the Bulldogs knew it'd be a dogfight. The game sold out 8 hours prior to tip-off, Seattle legends were in attendance, and the band had the atmosphere bumping. This is episode 7 of Metro League, Garfield vs. Rainier Beach. Before we get into the game, let's take a look at the standings and rankings coming into this matchup. You can see Beach is 15-2 and undefeated in league play, which is super impressive in the Metro League. They remain on top of the rankings, and no one can seem to slow them down as they continue to dominate. Garfield comes into this game at 13-3 and 8-3 in league play, losing 1 to Beach, 1 to O'Day, and 1 to Eastside Catholic. They're third in the rankings with O'Day just ahead of them, but they still remain a top 5 team in the state. Now that the stage is set, let's get into the game, beginning with the starting lineups of each team. Starting for the visiting Rainier Beach Vikings, we got 6'2", number 3 ranked sophomore Keandre Morris, 6'4", number 18 ranked junior Marcus Illy Manise, 6'5", number 2 ranked senior and Rutgers commit Caden Powers, 5'10", number 19 ranked senior Niall Robinson, and 6 foot, number 1 ranked senior and New Mexico commit Jalen Petty. For the home Garfield Bulldogs with the lights out, we got 6'4", number 1 ranked sophomore Trip Haywood, 6'1", number 25 ranked junior Mono Bomet, 6'2", number 78 ranked senior BJ Roy, 6'4", number 73 ranked senior Daniel Jackson, and 6'9", number 5 ranked senior Juju Irvin. Garfield won the tip, but Beach was first to get on the board with this jumper from 4-star guard Keandre Morris. From there, both teams missed a couple threes, but Marcus Illy Manise would grab a board and get fouled on the putback, putting him at the line. He knocked down 1 of 2, and shortly after, Juju got to work in the paint. Caden then had a nice pass to Jalen, who hit Marcus for the easy lay to put Beach up 5-2. After that, Juju drew a foul and knocked down 1 of 2, and moments later he got back to work getting a board and a bucket to tie it up. On the other end, he got a defensive board as well before Tripp took it up the court, finding D-Jack, who caught the lob and laid it in. Beach then pushed it up the court, but Juju continued to dominate on both sides of the ball. Something about this Beach team though is they're always quick to get back. KP had a light dunk, forcing a timeout with Garfield up 2. Coming back from the break, Keandre got a steal, and on Beach's next possession, KP had another smooth pass, this time to Micah Illy Manise, who finished the bucket over Juju. Tie game. Beach then forced another turnover, but Garfield made a defensive stop before D-Jack hit sophomore KJ Hightower in transition to regain the lead. From there, Caden Powers started to heat up, and there would end up being 3 lead changes before the end of the quarter. Beach led by 2 at the end of the first, but Juju got right back to it to start the second quarter. Moments later, Beach forced a turnover, and Maceo Rivers hit JP in transition, who splashed a fadeaway 3 to get things going for Beach in the second. On their next possession, Caden found Micah, who got the roll on this 15-footer to extend their lead, but there was just no stopping Juju in the paint. He got another tough bucket through contact, and both teams missed a couple shots after that. Niall then began to distribute the rock, hitting JP, who knocked down a 3, and Micah on this cut moments later, putting Beach up 8 halfway through the second. Garfield needed to respond, and they did so with Tripp draining a 3, but just seconds later, this happened. KP off his non-dominant leg goes up for the two-hand poster, getting everyone hyped. Then, after a short timeout, this happened on Beach's very next possession. Once Beach gets going, they're the toughest team in the state to slow down. They got another stop, and Niall then came down and hit a three, which got Nate shooting arrows at the Garfield bench. Garfield needed another timeout, and it proved timely because they got back on the board right after the break. Keonre then had a nice dish to Micah, who finished the layup, and Garfield stuck to their game plan of get the ball to Juju. He got another bucket, and on the other end, he also got back-to-back blocks as he continued to go crazy in the first half on both sides of the ball. But heading into halftime, Beach had a 10-point lead, and in the second half, things would get crazy. It's only fitting that Juju would get the first bucket of the second half, and after that, Tripp started to take over, scoring on back-to-back possessions, cutting Beach's lead to 3. Caden then got to the rack for Beach to help them get things going in the third, but just like that, Tripp and Juju were back to business. There was a timeout after the big slam from Juju, and Beach apparently had a game plan because they then went on a 9-0 run. Maceo hit a three, Niall had a tough turnaround jumper off one leg, Micah got a layup, and Jalen got a layup, so Beach now had their biggest lead of the night at 12 points. But Tripp had had enough. After the huge slam from Tripp, he got another bucket a couple minutes later, but JP answered back by knocking down a couple free throws and getting to the rack on this nice drive. Tripp continued to get to the hoop, knocking down a floater on Garfield's next possession, and both teams hit a free throw before the fourth, but Beach kept their 10-point lead heading into the final quarter. Beach started the fourth quarter adding a couple more points after Garfield was called for goaltending on this play. Tripp then hit a free throw, and on Beach's next possession, they almost turned it over, but Micah would end up grabbing the loose ball and finding JP under the basket. Moments later, Keonre knocked down a corner three, so Beach now had their biggest lead of the night, going up 16 with 6.5 minutes left. Zay then answered back, hitting a three himself, which was surprisingly his first bucket of the night, considering he had multiple threes the first time these two teams met. Garfield then got a stop, and Tripp hit Mono for his first bucket as well, helping Garfield start to come back. Micah then had another tough bucket under the hoop for Beach before Garfield started to force fouls on the other end. Beach was called for 3 straight fouls on the floor in the span of 20 seconds, which eventually put Juju at the line, who knocked down 1 of 2. Beach then pushed it up the floor, and Keonre barely missed a three, but he stayed in the play, getting a steal and getting to the hoop for a crafty bucket. Juju then got an offensive board and a putback layup, and from there, things started to get crazy. After Garfield went on an 8-point run, the lead was now cut to 6 with 2.5 minutes left. Beach called a timeout to recoup, but coming back from the break, this happened. Beach now only led by 4, and both teams traded buckets in the next minute, leaving 1 minute left in the game with Beach up 63-59. KP then drew a foul, which had the Garfield fans upset, and he would knock down 1 of 2 to put Beach up 5. Then, with 30 seconds to go, here's what happened next. Tripp hit Juju, making it a 3-point game, but they were forced to foul. JP clutched up and hit both, but the game wasn't over yet. Zay hits a 3 from way beyond the arc, making it just a 2-point game, but they had to foul once again, putting the #1 player in the state at the line. And from there, Jalen Petty did what he does best. JP comes up clutch again, knocking down both free throws to put Beach up 4 with a few seconds left, leaving Garfield with virtually no shot to tie it up. Beach gets the dub 68-64, remaining undefeated in Metro, and after the game, I interviewed the player of the game, Jalen Petty. All right, here with Jalen Petty, coming off the big win, 2 straight Hood Classic. How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good. I feel like, there was some struggles down the stretch, but I feel like my team, we just pulled through and was able to just come together and finish the game through. So, yeah.
Yes, sir. You really picked it up in the second half. I mean, towards the end, it was getting a little bit close there, but coming down the stretch, you were at the line. You had 4 big free throws there at the end. What was going through your mind when you were at the line?
Free throws is always something I work on daily, so just knowing that I trust myself to shoot those, and in big moments, I'm going to knock them down.
Yes, sir. What are you doing tonight to celebrate with the boys? I hear the music back there. They look like they're waiting for you, bro.
Shoot, I'll probably just, celebrate for a little bit, but we're right back to it. We're not done, so.
Yes, sir.
It's a long road.
What's the next step from here, man?
Keep winning, honestly. Keep winning with my team. Keep being together.
Yes, sir. Good game, bro. Jalen Petty, 22 points on the night. Let's go. Player of the game. Come on. Take it easy, bro.